Welcome back to CCN GameCast, and today this is episode 7, and we got kind of a lot to talk about today. But first, let's get into the old news of what we talked about on the last podcast. Old news. Alright, so last podcast, episode 6, we talked about our new power ranking segment that we've been doing lately, where we take what is currently on TV, and we go ahead and make a power rankings out of those of WWE superstars, and what we think, where we think they would go on a top 10, how they're doing, maybe by their matches, by their promos, by their character in general, and we put them and compile a list of the top 10. So we talked about that. We also talked about the Cruiserweight Championship coming to Universe Mode. So I've kind of made a decision about that a little bit. Basically, what we're going to do for Universe Mode is we're going to have the Cruiserweight Championship, and to determine that Cruiserweight Championship, we're going to have a Cruiserweight Classic. Whoever walks out with that championship will be the Cruiserweight Champion. Now, all the Cruiserweights are up for draft to any brand. So, all the Cruiserweights could be, not all of them, but, each Cruiserweight could be drafted to a different brand. So you could have Akira Tozawa going to Raw, and TJP going to SmackDown Live. Now, how we do this to be able to bring the championship into play for both brands is we will be having a 205 Live every week. So now not only 2 WWE shows, but 3 on the channel. And I think I can manage that. So what we'll be doing is on 205 Live, all the Cruiserweights are on 205 Live. I don't care if they're SmackDown or they're Raw. They're all on SmackDown Live, and that is where we will be going for the championships. Now, that being said, we are not going to be doing a NXT mode for Universe Mode coming into 2K18. That's a hard decision that I've had to make. And here's where my mindset is on here, and I'll be completely honest with you guys. The time that it takes to come up with different rivalries, 205 Live is basically going to be a secondary show. We're going to have just cool matches on there with the Cruiserweights, and there'll be probably one positioned around the Cruiserweight Championship. So there might be probably 2 matches on the show for the week, or maybe 3 matches at the most. But pretty much it's just going to be wrestling based and the one rivalry for the Cruiserweight Championship. Now, with that being said, I can't manage another tag team, another, big championship, another women's championship for NXT. It's just too much. And plus, I was really looking forward to bringing Bobby Roode to the main roster. And to bring Bobby Roode to the main roster and have an NXT mode without Bobby Roode in it to kick it off doesn't seem plausible to me. Bobby Roode kind of would have to be in NXT for a little bit in order to make the show prominent, I guess is how I want to put that. So, for now, there's going to be no NXT mode. There will be a 205 Live, there will be a Monday Night Raw, and there will be a SmackDown Live, and I think with that, we can manage that perfectly. If you have any questions about that and that decision, leave it in the comment section down below on YouTube. If you're listening to this on iTunes, go check out the channel at CCN Gaming on YouTube. Leave a comment on the video here. We do share all these podcasts to the YouTube channel, so go ahead and check that out. And so that's basically what we talked about as far as the Cruiserweight Championship was concerned. Destiny 2. So we talked about Destiny 2 a lot on the last podcast, and what our thoughts were on the game. Right now, I have gone through 2.5 characters and completed the story mode, and almost a third. So I've completed the Hunter and the Titan. I have yet to complete the Warlock. We're working on that right now. I love the game, and I just kind of wanted to beat the story mode with all 3 characters. There will be DLC coming out in the winter here coming up, and then one in the spring as well. So that'll add to those story modes, and we'll get all 3 of those characters through the new stuff as well. So Destiny 2, I would recommend it to anybody. Go out and play the game. You're going to love it. Even if you were disappointed again with Destiny 1, you'll enjoy this game. I really do. I'm getting in there. I'm getting new gear. I'm, upgrading gear. It's just a cool game all around. The cool storyline, the cinematics are spot on, and you won't be disappointed. So I believe that pretty much wraps it up for old news. This is kind of old news and new news in a way. We talked about Ark a lot last week on the podcast, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit more because we have decided to open up the Ark Ragnarok PS4 server for free. Now, I didn't explain it well in the Ark video that I have coming up, but we didn't get a big response for, donating $5 to join our Ark server, and we really, really, really want a community over there. We really want more people to be into that server. We want people to build on that server. We want to be able to go around doing whatever we were going to do for the video and see other places built. We want to be able to interact with more people on the channel when we do record. So I believe instead of asking for the $5 to open it up for free, I think it would make much better Ark videos for us. And I think it would be kind of cool. We're going to build some community buildings around. Obviously, they'll have to be in the tribe in order to see that, but we want to build that a pub or a bar type place and kind of a community spot. And yeah, so the settings on the server are really friendly for just relaxed play. They're not, extreme settings where you're only collecting 1 or 2 thatch from one tree. They're really, really lenient settings for relaxed play. And it's kind of just a game where you can sit back, have fun, enjoy it, and, hang out with the CCN gaming community. So if you guys are interested in joining that PS4 Ark Ragnarok server, you can find it on the PS4 under CCN Gaming. There's 10 slots available at a time, so you guys can get on there and play as long as there's no more than 10. If there's a bigger demand for it to where we need more, then I would be more than happy to extend the amount of slots available for that game. On to new topics. So this week I kind of have a new interesting topic to talk about, and I wanted to tell you guys and kind of connect with you guys a little bit and share what I watch on YouTube. Because YouTube is a daily thing for me. I get on and watch videos of certain YouTubers. Sometimes I don't get to them, sometimes I do. But I wanted to talk to you about my top 5 favorite YouTubers that I watch personally. So I thought this would be kind of a cool way to connect with you guys. Maybe you guys watch the same ones. Maybe by me sharing the ones that I watch, you guys go out and see different channels. And I think that's cool. These guys work really hard, the ones that I am going to talk about today. And I'll explain why I picked them for what I did and why I watch them. And yeah, if you guys are interested in any of these channels, go and check them out. Subscribe. It helps as a YouTube community for these people's channels. They work so hard, and with the YouTube apocalypse, they don't get much funding from these videos. So any traffic that we can bring to them helps out. I know the adpocalypse isn't as bad as it was before, but it still exists. So, without further ado, let's get into this top 5 on my favorite YouTubers. Number 5, DankOps. So I've been watching this guy for a long time, and I used to watch him a long time ago for his WWE career mode, my career mode, when it first aired, I believe in 2K15, I think is when it first came out. And so we've been watching him ever since. I really enjoy his content for the most part. Sometimes it varies, which is why he's in the 5 slot. I like his My Career stuff, and it makes me kind of want to do a My Career as well. But however, with what we're going to be getting into with 2K18, there's going to be so much universe stuff going on that I don't want to pack too much wrestling stuff on the channel because it takes away from me being able to do my other content. So we'll see about my career, and that's basically why I watch this guy, and he also has quite a lot of other cool stuff that he does. So if you would like to go check out Dank Ops, go and check him out on YouTube. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Especially check out his My Career stuff that he has on his channel. I think if you guys are definitely wrestling fans, you'll appreciate that. Number 4. So I've been watching this guy for roughly a couple of months. He has a lot of ARC content. Sometimes his personality you have to get by a little bit. He's got a cool following. I mean, he's got a cool personality that he brings to the channel. However, sometimes it can be a little annoying, I think. But Gator is number 4 here on the list. And yeah, I watch him for his ARC content, and he has a really cool ARC series that I've been watching and keeping up with. And that's where I got kind of the idea for the pub and the bar thing on ARC and our server. And also got the idea for the Ovis farm. So if you would like to go check out Gator, I think you guys would really appreciate that, especially if you like the ARC content on my channel. And yeah, go over there and subscribe, watch some of his videos, and see what you think. Number 3, Vintage Beef. So I've been watching this guy for the same amount of time. Vintage Beef also does a lot of ARC stuff. He also does a mixture of different things, and I really like his personality too, and he's kind of a cool guy to watch for definitely ARC tips. And that's a lot of the reason why I tune into these guys, is because it helps me out to bring better content to you guys on my channel. It's always nice to see how somebody else does what they do, and not to copy them, but for somebody that's got it down and it's got, you know, hundreds of subscribers, it's good to take what they do a little bit and kind of make your own twist on it, and to try to get a little bit more activity on your channel. So this guy's kind of a cool guy to check out, and I'll urge you guys to go check him out as well. He is number 3 on our countdown. Number 2, and this one could be controversial at best, PewDiePie. So I never liked PewDiePie for a long time. I hated his content. I felt like all he did was get on there, post a video of some scary game, and then scream the whole time. However, as he's gotten older and more mature, I feel like his content has gotten more mature. I enjoy watching him. I haven't actually watched him recently, but I'd like to watch like his battleground stuff that he does. And I really appreciate that content. And I think that, yeah, like I said, with his age, he's gotten more mature and he's gotten better to watch for myself. That's my personal opinion. So, yeah, I do watch him quite frequently. So I have to put him at the number 2 slot. Without further ado, we've reached number 1. Now, these guys, they're a whole crew of really, really cool guys. And I will get on here, and I've mentioned them in the past, and I will get on here and I will continue to mention them over and over and over, because whenever I see these guys post a new video, I get like that excited feeling, like I can't wait to watch this video. I have to drop everything that I'm doing and watch this video. Doesn't matter what it is. These guys react so good with each other. They have such a good relationship with each other. They're really intelligent in how they bring the videos across. Their ARC series, I can't even match it to begin with. There's no way. There's no way. I don't have the kind of time to edit a video like they do to make it that good. But their ARC stuff is amazing. Their videos itself are really amazing. So at the number 1 slot, I got Neebs Gaming. If you guys have not checked out Neebs Gaming, you have to go and watch their stuff. Like I said, to me, that's my favorite YouTuber, obviously at the number 1 slot. I always like to see what new stuff they come up with, and I always like to tune in for the newest Neebs video. You guys got to check these guys out. They have such a good relationship with each other, and they have such a good personality that they bring. They're not politically correct. I wouldn't say that they're, I wouldn't say they're racist or anything. That would be like way over the top, but they're not afraid to swear. They're not afraid to go outside the bounds. And if you guys are interested in that, check that out, because like I said, they're they're not politically correct in getting on YouTube. They had a lot of their ads stripped because their content wasn't kid-friendly, I guess. But they're not, to anybody could go and watch them and be completely fine with their stuff as long as, you're not afraid of a few swear words and stuff like that. So definitely go check out Neebs Gaming. They are, my absolute favorite, and I think you guys would like their content too. Now we're on to our weekly power rankings, and this will wrap up this video for this week. So I've let me see here. We got 6 new people on the power rankings this week. That might be controversial a little bit. Some of them I kind of wanted to keep on here, but I couldn't. And I'll explain that as we go down through. But let's start off with number 10, Rusev. So I put Rusev on this list at the number 10 slot because I didn't feel like he was, too big of a deal to talk about for the power rankings, but just enough that he needed to make it there somewhere. Rusev with a super kick on Randy Orton during his match with Aiden English was enough of a distraction that when Randy Orton turned around and caught a super kick. That feud, I think, is kind of interesting, so I had to put him on the list for that reason alone, and I don't really have much more to add for that. But yeah, Rusev at the number 10 slot. At the number 9 slot, I have to put the returning Charlotte to SmackDown Live. Charlotte's been through a lot in the last month, I'd say. Her dad was in hard shape. Looking at Ric Flair when he did his video after he got out of the hospital, he went through the ringer. And for her to show up and jump right back into it, winning the Fatal 4-Way match for the number 1 contenders opportunity, Charlotte deserved to be at number 9. That one, I don't know if anybody would be controversial on that one. I didn't put her too far down the list because she hasn't won the championship or anything. So to debut into this countdown, I put her at the number 9 slot. I figured that was generous right now. Number 8, Rollins and Ambrose. So these guys were at number 7 last week. I dropped them 1 slot because they did have a loss against a loss on Raw, and it's not coming to me who they even faced at this moment, but I knew that they lost. So I dropped them down 1 slot. They're still pretty cool. Oh yeah, they had the multiple tag team. That's what it was, because I thought about the nerd thing. Luke Gallows called them nerds, and Dean Ambrose like, you don't call me a nerd, and starts fighting with them, and breaks out into an all-out fight. So yeah, it was the Club, and was it the Hype Bros? Pretty sure it was the Hype. No, the Hype Bros are on SmackDown. Yeah, it's not coming to me. I know there's another team there, and I'm just drawing a blank here. So yeah, the Club and Rollins and Ambrose. Oh yeah, Sheamus and Cesaro. Duh. So yeah, they had a all-out tag team fight there, and I believe it was Sheamus and Cesaro that pulled off the win. Sheamus made the pin. So yeah, so I had to drop them a slot just for that loss, and I expect them to climb back up the rankings unless they die out as a tag team and lose the tag team championships. Number 7, Jason Jordan. So Jason Jordan was at number 5, and you might kind of find it funny that Jason Jordan actually won the 6-pack challenge to win the opportunity for the Intercontinental Championship. However, in my opinion, I felt like I didn't like Jason Jordan's confrontation with Kurt Angle and how he was in there helping Kurt Angle, and I didn't really like his actions towards The Miz. I didn't feel like, I couldn't believe in it, if that's the best way to put it. I didn't believe in that promo, that whole thing that went on, so I don't know, it just feels kind of weak to me. I think that Jason Jordan's a phenomenal competitor, and that's why he's on the top 10 to begin with. And maybe if he wins the Intercontinental Championship, I'll have to put him up the list more because obviously he's getting the job done. But yeah, so Jason Jordan, number 7, moving down 2 slots, or I guess up, yeah, down 2 slots to number 7 from number 5 last week. Number 6, making his debut to the power rankings for the week, Shane McMahon. So I had to put Shane McMahon on here. He's got one heck of a rivalry going on with Kevin Owens. They got a Hell in a Cell match coming up. I don't know if it needs any much more explanation than that. Shane McMahon came out, dropped a big promo on Kevin Owens, and I'm really excited to see that matchup, actually, because I know Shane McMahon can take a beating in that ring, and that's real. You can't fake gravity. Shane McMahon has dove off the top of the Hell in a Cell before. He will go out there and make it a phenomenal match, and I think Kevin Owens has awesome wrestling abilities to make that match great and work good with Shane McMahon. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that's why Shane McMahon's at number 6 this week. Number 5, Bayley. So Bayley made a surprise return on Raw, and they had they didn't really have a matchup, but all 3 women, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, speared Nia Jax, taking her out of the ring, and then Sasha Banks and Bayley dropped Alexa Bliss in the middle of the ring after that. So I had to put Bayley on the countdown. Bayley's one of my favorite women in the WWE right now. I think she's got pretty good wrestling ability. She's got one of those, I can't say strong gimmicks, but she's got one of those unique gimmicks that she's come up with it. You know, she's done great and carried that gimmick as far as she has. And so I had to put her on the countdown at number 5 this week. Number 4, The Miz. So The Miz is making his debut on the Power Rankings this week as well. The Miz is one of these guys, he's good on the mic, he's good in the ring, he's, I feel like, kind of a basic wrestler, but he's a safe wrestler. This guy hasn't been injured very much, very seldom. He's going to be a dad, he's got the Miztourage behind him. I like that whole story that they have going on, that whole stable of the Miztourage. He's got a pretty good thing going right now. He's obviously Intercontinental Champion. I haven't put him on the countdown before. However, I think that this week he's kind of shown a little bit more his feud with Jason Jordan. He's definitely making that feud strong, I think. I don't know if we're getting towards a scenario where Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan team up to take on the Miztourage. I don't know if that's what they're going for, or if they're going to go for where Jason Jordan will turn against his father after he lashed out at Kurt Angle on Raw, and that'll be a matchup to see. So yeah, I'm not sure, but The Miz definitely earns that spot, I think, at number 4 for the week, making his debut onto the countdown. And you can probably expect him to be here for a couple of weeks. All depends on how he does. All depends on how No Mercy goes down. So yeah, The Miz, number 4. Number 3, making his debut onto the Power Rankings. I don't remember if we had him on here a couple of weeks ago or not, but Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin basically shut down Ty Dillinger a couple of weeks ago for his United States Championship match. After the match was over, he tagged them and everything, tagged Ty Dillinger and AJ Styles, and then proclaimed that he was going to have the United States Championship opportunity at this week's SmackDown. Well, he started to. He attacked AJ Styles before the match, before the bell even rang. Ty Dillinger interrupted that, took out Baron Corbin, and hurt his knee, actually. Or kayfabe hurt his knee. And then AJ Styles locks in the calf crusher on him. But for that fact alone, that he was in a match with AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, I think, has a pretty good, what do I want to say, character, I guess is the best way to put it. I think he's got a pretty good story to tell, and I think he's going to go far. Ty Dillinger didn't make the countdown this week, and I was going to, but there was new people that I really wanted to get on the countdown this week, or else I probably would have put Ty Dillinger in here as well. However, he hasn't really, surprised me quite yet. He hasn't really shown bright just yet, and I'm thinking that maybe at the next pay-per-view they might have actually said that, but I think it's going to end up being Baron Corbin, Ty Dillinger, and AJ Styles for the United States Championship. So if that ends up coming about, I'd have to put him back on this Power Rankings, I believe. Number 2, I've said it before and I'll say it again, AJ Styles. On a countdown, as long as AJ Styles is competing, I believe he deserves to be in a top 5 scenario. AJ Styles is obviously still the United States Championship, still going strong. He looks good in the ring all the time, so I have to put him at number 2, and I don't know if it needs any more explanation than that, really. Number 1, retaining a spot on the countdown. Number 2 last week, Kevin Owens gets the number 1 slot. After his attack on Vince McMahon and the promo that he dropped, or the video package that he dropped on SmackDown Live, you got to put Kevin Owens at number 1, I believe. Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon are going to have one heck of a feud. Yeah, I have no more words to explain that. I think Kevin Owens deserves that number 1 spot just for the stuff that he's done the last couple of weeks alone. So Kevin Owens, number 1 for the week. So that is all we have for you this week. I could talk about games that we've played, but we've already done that, and they haven't really changed much. I've been playing WWE 2K17, I've been playing Ark, and I've been playing Destiny 2 a lot. Also Madden. I'm really loving the Madden series, and I think you guys are going to love the franchise and the long shot story coming out this week. So yeah, I'm not going to go into the topics. I talked about the games I've played because they haven't really changed much. So I'm glad that you guys joined me here this week. If you made it this far, leave a comment down below saying you made it this far through the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube. If you're not watching this on YouTube and you're on iTunes instead, go check out our YouTube channel. This podcast is based around what we do on the YouTube channel, so this stuff will make a lot more sense if you go to our YouTube channel and check it out. Also, I want to talk about one more thing. We talked about the server being free on Ark, but I also wanted to talk about my Twitter page, because I've been putting a lot of who do you think will win type deals on my Twitter page for the upcoming pay-per-views, for the Baron Corbin-Brock Lesnar match I have coming up at Battleground, and for the AJ Styles-Randy Orton match I have coming up for Great Balls of Fire. So I've been doing a lot of those who do you think will win type deals, and the best way that you guys can interact with me in those is through my Twitter page at CCN Gaming and Music. So that is CCN Gaming, the letter N, Music. So CCN Gaming, the letter N, Music. So check that out on Twitter. You'll see a picture of me with my United States Championship anyway, so you'll see that. And definitely keep track of the stuff on there. I drop breaking news on there all the time. I drop the who do you think will wins. My video links go up on there automatically. So yeah, check that Twitter page out, and that's a good way for you guys to interact with me on there. Don't feel bad about leaving a comment, anything like that. I check my Twitter page almost daily, so check that out. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube account, CCN Gaming. Like, comment, all that good stuff. Share the videos that you'd like to get the word out about this channel. If you're liking the content, you're liking what I bring to the table, share it and get it out there as much as we can to grow our community. So thank you guys for listening in today on the CCN GameCast, and we'll see you guys next time.